This party's over.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? So, The Last Jedi has divided many, we know this. While some are more interested in Star Wars than ever before, others are straight up done with the franchise. Now, while I don't think we should get up and leave, I can identify with both sides of emotions here extremely well. Mark Hamill has been no shy mouse when it comes to voicing his opinions on The Last Jedi, by saying that it's not his version of Luke Skywalker, and that he fundamentally disagreed with so many decisions made with the film. I mean, just watch the whole behind-the-scenes bonus footage from The Last Jedi Blu-ray, and you'll hear most of his views on Luke's character and the direction. Essentially, he's made it clear that Star Wars is no longer about Luke Skywalker or Anakin Skywalker, but rather their children and those involved with them. In a recent interview with ABC News, Mark Hamill himself was questioned by them on returning after Carrie's death and Han Solo's demise. This is what he said about it. "It really has tarnished my ability to enjoy it to its fullest," Hamill told ABC News of Fisher's passing. "You were asking earlier, are you going to come back? I don't care anymore on that level, because Han Solo is gone, Luke is gone. You just can't get the band back together the way you wanted it to be, and it shouldn't be that way. It is what it is." Now, in another interview, this time with Collider, Mark spoke about Leia's role in Episode 9, where he had this to say. "First of all, I don't know what the specific plans were for that character, but just the way Han Solo was more prominent in Episode 7, Luke more prominent in Episode 8, we assumed Leia would be more prominent in Episode 9. Especially since the dynamic of having Kylo Ren as her son, I think it would be tough recasting Carrie because she is so indelibly linked to that character." Okay, so does this mean that Luke doesn't care about Star Wars and doesn't want it returned? No, absolutely not. But in the sense that it's gonna be like how it was before, with the whole crew with Leia and Han coming back together as this team, like it was in A New Hope all the way to Return of the Jedi. He knows that it just won't be the same anymore, and for that reason, he doesn't care if he returns. But as tabloids and all that all over the internet are saying that he just doesn't care about Star Wars, that couldn't be further from the truth. I think Mark Hamill is one of the most passionate Star Wars fans out there, and he's not after just the money. He definitely cares about the franchise, and he really cares about the fans as well. Now, what's my take on this? Well, I 100% agree with Mark. I really don't care much for the new characters. Sure, they're cool in their own respects, but the last 40 years has been about Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Leia, going through the galaxy's turmoil to overturn the Emperor's rule of tyranny. Now that the crew will never be back together, what interest is there for him to return? What legacy is he fulfilling here? He left Return of the Jedi as this hopeful beacon of light in the galaxy, and now he's just totally the opposite in The Last Jedi. They killed him off in the film, so what's left for him to really do here? From his point of view, I can only speculate, but if I were him, given the things he's said about all of it over the last few years, I've come up with this theory about how he may just feel and where it may be coming from. Luke wasn't in Episode 7 until the end, which they made Mark lose a whole bunch of weight for the film, telling him that he needs to get ready for his role. But when he finally learned what his role was, after all the dieting and training, he found out that it was just him standing on a ledge. That's the first bummer that he felt, probably. Then in The Last Jedi, he's clearly spoken out about what they've done to his character, and then killing him off, which I'm going to elaborate more on in a few seconds here. Then Carrie's death was just the most terrible thing that could have happened, so it really dampened everything, including his interest in returning to the film when nothing is really the same anymore. Mark had this to say in another interview, this time with Collider. "I would say to Ryan, a Jedi wouldn't give up, even if I made the horrible mistake of picking the wrong guy and thinking he was the next hope, and instead he's the new Hitler. Sure, I might have been traumatized, but I'd regroup and come back twice as strong." That's the old school George Lucas version of a Jedi. I have to learn that this isn't about me anymore. It's not George Lucas's Star Wars. It's the new generation. And if that's what they want Luke to be... So I'm not sure if Luke will return or not. My guess is that he absolutely will, because just imagine if he wasn't in the last Skywalker saga film. The fans would absolutely go insane. I'd feel completely betrayed if he wasn't in the film. He could come as a Force ghost, or he could just return somehow. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I guess we'll wait and see. Who knows what will happen? I want to know what your thoughts are on this interview with Mark, and where his head is at this point. Thanks for watching today's episode, everyone. I will see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
The Force will be with you always.